Let's go ahead and get started, right? So we're standing up nice and tall, shoulders are back and down, abs are in tight, and let's go here. Right, so I'm pulling my arms back and I'm tapping my toes back. So if you think of it, try to alternate which arm crosses on top. I mean, it's not super important, but it's just nice to be able to alternate. Good. Let's do 4, 3, 2, and let's go side to side. So side to side, side to side, side to side. Good. Side to side. And remember, if you need a little bit less movement, that's fine. You can always just shift your weight side to side or just lift your heel, or you can lift and tap. Good. So if you can, let's come forward for a step or two, and let's go back for a step or two, and forward, and back, and forward, and back, forward, and back. Let's do it one more time. So this will be the last one. Forward and back. Good. And then just stay here. We're going to switch to biceps curl and a knee lift. So we're going to slow it down and go up, down. So ideally we want to alternate, but if that's hard for you, do one arm and put the other hand on the chair or the wall. Right? Do what's right for you. Remember, this is just the warm up. So yes, we want to be moving, but we should not be going 100%. Right? If any of you remember that perceived exertion chart or the rate of perceived exertion from all those eons ago when we had classes here, you want it to be, 3, maybe 4. Okay. Good. So let's march. Right? Swing those arms. That helps to get the blood pumping a little bit. Good. Now let's march the feet out wide. And march them back in. And march out wide. March back in. March out wide. March back in. March out wide. March back in. Let's do it one more time. March out wide. And march back in. All right, now we're gonna stick with the left side. We're gonna punch forward and step forward. So we're gonna step and punch, 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 and try to really pull that arm back. 2 more, then we switch right. Last one, left and right. Remember, go at your own pace. Try to push, pull back, push, pull back, push, pull back, push, pull back. I'm pulling my abs in a little bit. 4, 3, 2, and then let's alternate left and right. So left, right, left, right, left, right, left, right, left, right. Good. Let's keep alternating sides like this, but turn the punch into an uppercut. Uppercut. So up and back, 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 up and back. And remember, if it's too much movement with the lower body, just shift your weight side to side a little bit, or just lift your heel, right? Up, 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 up. Good. 4, 3, 2, 1. Good. And let's just march. Right? And then we're going to bring the arms up overhead. Right? And we're going to go opposite elbow and heel up, toe tap. Opposite elbow and foot. Opposite elbow and foot. Now, if you remember from the other day, if you'd like, you can bring that knee up rather than just tapping the toe and lifting the heel. But just remember, feet stay wide apart so you can keep your balance. Abs are in tight. Four, 3, 2, plant your feet, bring your elbows down here. Right, so we're going to go turn, 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 lift the opposite heel. Turn, 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 opposite heel. Turn, 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 heel. Turn, 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 heel. Turn, turn, turn. So if I end up with my body to the right, I'm lifting the left heel. And if my body's to the left, I'm lifting the right heel. And feel that midsection. I feel it a little bit in the sides of my back. Heel up. Heel up. Heel up. Heel up. Heel up. Good. Let's do it one more time each side. Good work. Put a hand on the chair, pick a leg, and just swing it forward and back. Remember, abs are in tight. Good. And let's switch legs. Sometimes when we do our exercises, the low back gets a little sticky, gets a little tight, so we're just loosening it up a little bit. All right, so go back to whichever leg you did first and knee up, leg back. So abs are in tight, shoulders are down, knee up, leg back. Do what you can. Don't worry about getting yourself completely horizontal. But remember too, that the upper part of the body only goes as far forward as the leg goes back. So we're staying more on a straight line. We're not bent at the hip. Let's do one more. So knee up, leg back. Good job. Set it down, shake them out a little bit. All right, let's switch sides. So knee up, leg back. Knee up, leg back. Knee up. Abs are in really tight. Up, leg back. Knee up, leg back. Up, leg back. Up, leg back. 3, 2, last one. Good job. Set that foot down, shake out your legs a little bit. Let's grab a quick drink of water before we move into a little bit of balance work. Okay. So, standing either feet side by side, one foot halfway in front of the other, or heel toe. Stand up nice and tall. Think chin up, but not way up here. Think about extending the back of your neck, lifting the crown of your head upward. Shoulders are relaxed, but back. Abs are in tight. Fingertips light on the chair. And 3, 2, 1. Close your eyes. Breathe. It's a lot trickier than it seems, so try to relax a little bit, not totally stiffen up. Make sure some of your weight is in the front leg. It's not all in the back leg. If you have a front and back leg. Good. Let's make sure you're holding onto the chair. Slowly open your eyes. Step your feet apart. Whew, shake out your legs a little bit. Good job. Remember, try not to stress over this. Balancing with your eyes closed is really hard. All right, we're going to switch sides, unless, of course, your feet were side by side. All right, so we're switching sides. Try to relax your toes. Don't grip your shoe. Up tall, relax your shoulders, abs in tight. Head up high, looking straight ahead for now. Put those fingers on the chair. Hold it only if you need to. And 3, 2, 1, close your eyes. Right? If one foot is halfway in front of the other or your heel toe, make sure that there's some weight in the front leg. It's not all in the back leg. Breathe. Good. Make sure you're holding the chair. Open your eyes. Good work. Step your feet apart. Whew. Shake them out again. We're going to do it one more time on each side, this time with our eyes open. So if your feet were together last time, try to at least have one foot halfway in front of the other. Okay, so let's get ourselves into position up tall. Find that non-moving focal point. Put your hands wherever they need to be. And abs are in tight. Breathe. And slowly turn and look over your right shoulder. Breathe. Slowly bring your head back center. And slowly turn and look over the left shoulder. Make sure it's very slow. Make sure you have a little bit of weight in that front leg. It's not all in the back leg. Pull those abs in tight. All right. Slowly bring your head back center. And step your feet apart. Woo, shake them out a little bit. You should feel this. All right. Long, deep breaths. Let's switch legs. Stand up nice and tall. If you're in position 2 or 3, make sure that you put some weight in that front leg. It's not all in the back leg. Up tall, abs in tight. Try to find that focal point. We're not keeping it for long, but try to find it. And then slowly turn and look over your left shoulder. Make sure you shifted a little bit of weight into that front leg. Abs are in tight. Try not to grip your shoe with your toes. And slowly turn your head center. And slowly turn and look over the right shoulder. Breathe. And slowly bring your head back center. Good. And step your feet apart. Good work. All right, shake out your legs a little bit. Remember, if balancing is really hard for you, if this exercise is hard, any kind of balance is better than no balance. So even if you're just standing here and not turning your head, or if you're balancing kind of on one leg and putting the toes of one foot on the floor, just some kind of balance. Try not to totally skip it if you can help it. All right, let's grab your stretchy tube or band if you have it, and we're gonna bring it around behind us. We're gonna shorten it up a little bit. Right, and my elbows are bent here, right? And we're gonna push straight out and back. So I'm pushing straight out to the side and bringing them back. Straight out and back. Straight out and back. So I'm trying to extend my arms so that they're in line with my shoulders when they're straight out. Right, I'm standing up tall, tucking my chin a little bit. Three, two, last one. Good job. Lower the arms down, roll your shoulders just back. Okay, we're going to bring it back in front of us. We're going to really shorten it up. And I'm going to start using my right arm first. So I'm putting my left hand against the front of my shoulder or my chest, and I'm lifting my right elbow so it's straight out in line with my shoulder. And then I'm going to extend my right arm and bend it. And I'm not letting that elbow drop, right? My elbow is staying up nice and high. And my arm is extending straight out to the side and not kind of in front of me, right? But the biggest thing that I see is that that elbow just wants to drop. Try to tell it no, right? Feet are wide enough apart so they're giving us a nice strong foundation. And try to get that arm to straighten and then bend. Abs are in tight. Let's do two more. Last time. Good job. Ooh, lower those arms. Roll. I did the right arm, so I'm rolling my right shoulder forward, and I'm going to roll it back. Loosen it up, and then we're going to switch sides. Okay, so now my right elbow's down, my left elbow's up, and I'm going to go out and back in. Out. Remember, adjust the length of your tube or band if you have one. And if you're using a weight in your hand, you can adjust how much weight you're holding. If your arm gets really tired and you can't do the movement correctly, set the weight down and do it without the weight. Just remember, doing something is better than doing nothing. See if we can do two more. One more time. Good job. Lower the arms down. Roll that, whichever arm you were just using, roll it forward a few times. Roll it back. Good job. Okay. And then let's bring it back behind us. Good. Okay. Now this time, we're going to shorten it up, right? And we're just going to push it forward, pull it back, push it forward. So we want those arms to be about chest level. Forward, not way up here, right? But down here. And abs are in tight. Breathe. 3, 2, 1. Good job. Lower your arms down. We're going to set this aside just for a minute or two, right? Shake out your arms a little bit. Pick up a light weight. Okay, now if you're really tall and or your arms are a little bit short, I apologize, because you're gonna have to lean forward a little bit, which I don't usually encourage. So I'm holding the weight in my right hand. I'm gonna hold onto the chair with my left. I'm gonna put my hand down just above my right knee, which I know is hard to see because the weight I'm holding is black and my pants are black. And I'm gonna pick that knee up, down, up, down. So I want that weight to be down closer to my knee. If you need to sit, sit, and just put the weight just above your knee, right? And we're just lifting one leg. We're staying up tall. We're holding on to the chair because this is not a balance exercise, it's a strength exercise. So I'd rather we focus on the strength and not be so worried about balance. Abs in tight. 3 more, please and thank you. 2, 1, good work. Let's set that weight down. Swing those legs forward and back a few times. Right? And then we're gonna switch sides. So hand just above the knee, abs are in tight, up, down, up, down, up, down. Try not to lean. That foot should touch the floor lightly. There should be no impact tremors. Shouldn't feel it up into your knee. These legs should be getting tired. 3, 2, last one. Good job. Set the weight down. Woo. Maybe swing each leg a couple of times. Okay, I'm gonna grab a quick drink and then we're gonna go back to the stretchy tube or band. Okay, so let's grab it again. Bring it back behind you. Shorten it up a little bit. Okay, and just like we did in the warm-up, we're gonna go forward and up. Okay, we're gonna stay on the left side first, and then we'll do the right side. Okay, so forward and up. Remember, if it's too much to move your foot at the same time, just keep your feet planted or just lift your heel. 2 more and then we switch. Good, and right. Feel free to adjust the length of your tube or band if you need to. 4, 3, 2, alternate. Left, right, left, right, left, right. Abs are in tight. Left, right, left, right, left, right. 4, 3, and then we're gonna go across in front, alternating. Cross in front, cross in front, cross in front. So remember, if it's too much to pick your foot up, or if this makes your back hurt, then just kind of shift your weight a little bit. Maybe pick up your heel if you can. And on the other hand, if it doesn't, you could maybe even pick up your foot if your balance will allow you to do that. Now, just the left side. 2 more, then we switch right and right. 4, 3, 2, 1, and left. 4, 3, 2, 1, and right. 4, 3, 2, 1. Last time left. 4, 3, 2, 1, and right, last time. 3, 2, 1. Good job, everyone. Lower your arms down. Woo. Roll your shoulders forward. Roll them back. Good work. All right, we're going to step on it, the tube or band that is. Right. Make an X. Try to make sure that the two sides feel pretty even. Right? Take your feet a little bit wider apart, hands on the front of your legs. And we're going to squeeze those shoulders back and pinch the shoulder blades. Squeeze, squeeze, squeeze. Abs are in tight. Squeeze, squeeze, squeeze. Try to tuck your chin a little bit and hold your head still. Don't forget to breathe. Abs are in tight. 4, 3, 2, 1. Good work, everyone. All right. Undo your X, but shorten it up a little bit. Take your feet out a little bit wider. If you want to stand in front of your chair, feel free. If you are standing in front of your chair, make sure that your heels are at least chair leg distance apart. So everyone else, you want your feet to be at least hip distance apart, maybe a little bit wider, right? You all know what we're gonna do. Shoulders back and down, abs and tight. Push back, stand up. Make sure that your chin stays down. You're looking down at the floor as you come forward, right? Hands are staying pretty still, so the elbows are bending and straightening. We're pushing back into our heels. And we're inhaling on the way back up. Abs are in tight. And push back and up. And at the top, try to squeeze your tush a little bit. Push back, up and squeeze. 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 Good job. Feel this in the backs of your legs. 4, 3, 2. Last one. Good work. Woo. Bring your feet closer together. Right? Abs are in nice and tight. And we're going to alternate left and then right. So we're going to go left, center, right, center. Abs in really tight. Think about squeezing inward and upward with those abs. Shoulders stay down. Remember, if you have any kind of spinal or back muscle issues, make this movement a little bit smaller. Abs are in tight. Don't forget to breathe. Really bend one side of the waist and then the other. And pull those abs in as tight as you can without cutting off your breathing. Let's do 3 more on each side. So 3, 2, last one. Good job. Let your tuber band come full length. Whew. Shake out your hands, your fingers a little bit if you need to. You might need to. All right, we're going to do a little outer hip work, right? So we're going to be stepping out, stepping in. So I'm going to redo my X, but my feet are closer together so I can bring my hands up a little bit higher than I could when we were doing the shoulder blade squeezes. And we're going to step out and in twice with the left leg, then twice with the right. So abs in tight, keep your hips under you, right? They kind of want to go back here. Tell them no, right? And out, in, out. Now right. Remember, shoulders stay over the hips. Now left, abs in tight. Try to keep the toes forward, right and left. Try not to let your hands drop down. Back to the left. Right. Toes are pointing forward. We're not stepping back and we're not stepping forward, just to the side. Make sure you're not leaning. All right, now we're going to alternate left out and in, then right. So left and in, and right and in. If your legs are getting really tired, you can let your hands come down a little bit lower, but think abs in tight. Try to make your core support you some. Good. 4, 3, 2, 1. Good job, everyone. Woo. All right. Undo your eggs. Whew. We're going to work the triceps a little bit. Take the feet apart, right? Bring your hands behind you. Stay up really tall. Try to bring that handle across your palm rather than across your fingers, and press back, press back, press back. Abs in tight. Don't let yourself lean forward. Press back. Try to pull those shoulders back. You know, we spend a lot of time rounded forward, reading, using our laptops, our tablets, driving. We want to try to counter that by keeping those shoulders back and lifting the head up and tucking the chin toward the back of our necks. 3, 2, 1. Good work. Come on off the tuber band. Set it aside. If you're using weights, set those aside. Roll the shoulders forward just a time or two, and then 4 or 5 big shoulder rolls to the back. Good. Let's stretch out the triceps for a minute. Okay, so take one arm up to the ceiling, bend your elbow, give yourselves a little pat on the back, and then either push that elbow back or hold your elbow and gently pull it like you're trying to bring it behind your head, but don't let it push your head forward. Right, try to keep your head up tall. I'm timing us, so try to keep going with the stretch. Good, and release. Loosen up your shoulders again, roll them forward, roll them back, and let's switch arms up and over, and either push that elbow back or grab the elbow and gently pull. You're going to feel it in here. And again, try not to let your arm push your head down or forward. Breathe. Good. And release. And again, roll your shoulders forward, roll them back. Let's go ahead and grab your stick or a pole or rod or cane or whatever you have. And if you don't have one, don't stress over it, right? Just take your hands out wide like this and try to straighten them. So even if you don't have one, arms here, and you're just going to go up and down. Okay, so we're going to go up and down. So this is a really good exercise to kind of correct that forward posture. So you want to think about lifting the crown of your head up as high as you can, but not lifting your chin. Chin stays tucked down and toward the back of your neck, right? But we're not bending the elbows. If you find your elbows are bending at the top, take your hands a little bit wider. Let's do one more. Good work. Now we're going to set this aside. We're going to go back to it in a minute or two. But first, we're going to grab our light weights. Okay. And the exercise that we did in the warm up, right? We're going to pull elbow down and then opposite heel up or opposite knee up. Okay. Don't go crazy and think you have to come here because you don't. Okay. So just pick a side and let's start. Just try to remember it's upper and lower body and abs are in tight. So even if you're doing this sitting, right, try to pick up that heel. Up, down, up, release. Good. So remember too, your heart rate should be going up a little bit because anytime that our arms are up over our heads, our heart rate goes up. Let's do each side one more time. Good job. Lower the arms down. Roll them a few times. Then we're going to bring the hands back up here. Right? Feet not too wide. We're going to turn, 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 heel up. Turn, 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 heel up. Turn, 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 heel up. So it's the torso that's twisting. Up. Up. Make sure it's the opposite leg from the direction that you stop in. Up. Make sure that you're turning your torso and not just your arms. Up. 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 Let's do each side one more time. Good job. Lower the arms down. Set these weights down. Right, and one more time. Roll your shoulders forward. Roll them back. We're going to grab that stick or pole or cane or rod or whatever you have. And if you don't have one this time, you're going to bend your elbows like this. And you're going to have your hands about shoulder distance apart, like this. We're going to pull the elbows back and push up and pull back and push up. So ideally, we're not changing the bend in the elbows. It's like our elbows are frozen. They're locked. And it's the shoulders that are moving the arms rather than the arms moving the arms. Up, down, up, down. So when they come down, we're pulling back and not pushing down. So up and back, and up and back, and up and back, up. Let's do two more. So up and back and up and back. Okay, good. So now I just want to show you something, right? Because I mentioned before that, you know, kind of forward posture like this that we get into sometimes because we're not aware, we're not paying attention, we don't realize it's happening, and we spend too much time in that forward position. So if you can take the stick and put it behind your shoulders like this. Now, if these muscles right here, which get really tight from being forward too much, if that's too painful for them, they're too tight, then try it with your hands out a little bit wider. But the more you can bend your elbows, the more you're going to stretch those muscles. And we want to have it behind the shoulders and not on your neck. And this is kind of a hard thing to do. So if it doesn't work for you yet, don't stress over it. Oh, please and thank you. Please don't stress over it. Just something that I wanted to throw in there and kind of bring to your attention, because this is the only time you're ever going to do anything like this. Like, we never ever lift weights and bring them back behind our head. We just don't do that because that stresses the cervical spine too much. But this is a stretch for these muscles in here that get really tight. Okay, very good. So let's go ahead and set this aside. I'm going to grab a quick drink. Okay, and then we're going to pick up the heavy weights. We're going to do another set of these. Okay, so abs are in tight. Make sure you bend at the knees and the hips when you pick your weights up. Right, feet are at least hip distance apart. If you prefer to stand in front of your chair for this, that's a great idea, but not strictly necessary. Right, so abs are in tight, shoulders back and down. Try to keep your head and neck in that one position so it's not going up as you come forward, and push back, up. So the hands can slide down the outsides of your legs, but no lower than your knees, because then the upper back wants to round. And we don't want the upper back to round. Really push back into your heels, squeeze up, squeeze your tush. Push back, abs in tight, so we're inhaling on the way up so we don't get lightheaded. And we're holding those shoulders back a little bit, or as much as we can, actually. And we're pushing back into our heels and keeping the knees pretty straight so we feel this from the low back down into the backs of the legs, the hamstrings. Let's do 4. Make sure you're looking down at the floor. 3, squeeze that tush at the top. 2, last time. Whew, good job. All right, so relax your stance a little bit. Feet maybe a little bit closer together. Let's see what we can do with the shoulder blade pinch. Pinch, pinch. If you need to swap these out for lighter weights, then by all means do. Remember, quality is more important than quantity. Abs in really tight. Try to keep that chin tucked a little bit. Three, 2, 1. Good job. Set these weights down. Whew. Shake out your hands a little bit. Roll your shoulders forward just a few times, and then really roll them back. Good job. All right. Now, this is not strictly a balance exercise, but balance is definitely involved in it. We did it the other day. I'm not sure which day, but you want to make sure that you're standing up tall, right? So that your feet are not out behind you like this. So just stand up, then put your hands on the chair. And so we're going to lift the heels, lift the toes. It's really important to make sure that your hips stay under you, because they want to kind of go back here like this. We don't want them to. We want the hips to just stay put. And the toes don't lift very far off the floor. Make sure you're not rocking and leaning way back. That's why we're putting our hands lightly on the chair. So heels up, toes up, heels up, toes up, heels up, toes up. So you might notice that my toes are not coming super high off the floor. But I'm making sure that I'm not coming forward and I'm not pushing back. Let's do 2 more of each. toes up, heels up, toes up. Good job. Take a little step back away from the chair, feet about hip distance apart, and push your hips back, press your chest down toward the floor. So your head should be close to the chair back and big bend in the elbows. And breathe. Good work. Abs in tight. Inhale. Lift up. All right. We're doing a little more lower body work today than upper body. Okay, so we're going to put a hand on the chair. Again, we want to try not to lean. So I have my left hand on the chair, right? And I'm going to pick my right leg up and push it out. Notice it's not going all that far. Trying to keep my toes pointing forward. Now, I'm not touching at the bottom, but if you need to touch at the bottom because your left leg's getting tired or because of your balance, then do. Try to keep, again, shoulders are more or less over the hips, right? Just so we're not going like this, right? Because then the left side is doing the work and the right side is doing nothing. 4, 3, 2, 1. Good job. Turn, face the chair. Pick a leg, swing it side to side. Right? Make sure you don't kick the chair because that really hurts. And then switch. And then we're going to, of course, switch legs. Okay. So just remember, the second side is always harder because we've already worked each leg one time. Right? So now we're going to stand on the right leg and the left leg's going to go out, in. And we're trying to stay up nice and tall. Abs are in tight. Try to rest as few fingers on the chair as possible. Try not to put your palm on the chair or your thumb because we can put a lot of weight on those. And we want this to hold us up and not our poor hand. 3, 2, 1. Good work. We're going to turn back to the chair. Make sure that you're stepped away from it a little bit. And again, swing that leg side to side. Good. And switch. Good work. And since we're here already, we're going to stay here. We're going to cross one leg behind the other or in front, depending on how you look at it. And we're going to push the hips back and press the chest down toward the floor. Right? And typically, we feel this more in whichever leg is behind. Right? So try to really push your hips out behind you. And breathe. Good. Now abs in tight. Inhale, lift up. And we're going to switch legs. Make sure that your feet are more side by side and not heel toe. And then push back. Abs in tight. Now, I know you all are thinking, woohoo, we're not going to have to sit and stand, but actually we are. Sorry. Good. Abs in tight. Inhale and stand up. Good. Okay. Now, if you would like to grab weights for sitting down and standing up, feel free. But if you don't want to use them, that's fine too. Today, let's start sitting, because I think we've been starting standing. Remember, if you're staying sitting, that's fine. You're going to put the weights out towards your knees and you're going to alternate picking your feet up as high as you can without leaning back, right? And everybody's feet are going to be wide apart. If you're standing, they might need to be a little bit wider than if you're sitting. All right, and here we go. Up and down lightly. And when we sit down, the abs are in tight so that we're not losing our balance and falling back and the feet don't come up off the floor. And we're sitting tall at the bottom, we're standing tall at the top. And breathe, reposition if you need to. We're a little over halfway. Abs in tight, don't forget, chest up, shoulders back. Five, 4, 3, 2, last one, you did it. Go ahead, have a seat. Set those weights aside if you were using them. Pick a leg, bring it into your chest. So remember, holding the front of the leg just below the knee stretches more the front of the leg, and holding behind the knee stretches more behind it. So we stretch whatever we feel is tighter. And release and switch. So you could rotate your ankle a little bit if you wanted to while you were doing this in each direction. Ooh, my ankle is extra creaky today. Very good. All right. Now we're going to sit up. We're going to pick one leg and we're going to take ankle over knee. Right? Doesn't matter which, but whichever leg we're resting the other one on, try to get that knee to be straight out in front of your hip. Extend it if you need to. Take the ankle just below the knee if you need to. See if you can put your hands just above the knee and gently press down. Sitting up as tall as you can. Breathe. Abs are in tight. Good job. All right, 2 hands on the outside of that knee, and we're pushing it over to the opposite side and then pulling it in toward our chest. So you might be leaning back ever so slightly, but try not to lean back too far. And breathe and try to get that hip, that leg to stretch. Remember, it feels great. Good work. Go ahead and release it. Take a deep breath. You know what's coming next. We're going to switch sides. So ankle over knee, extend the leg if you need to, put the leg just, or the ankle just below the knee if you need to. Try to put your hands just above this knee and gently push down. Try not to lean back, but stay up nice and tall. Try not to let your shoulders pinch up around your ears. They like to, but we have to tell them no. Because we don't want them staying there. Good, and then 2 hands to the outside of that leg And we're going to push that knee over and bring it in towards your chest. And breathe. Remember, we always feel these stretches more on one side than the other. And it's not always necessarily the same side. So you might feel one of them more on the left and the other one more on the right. That's absolutely normal. Good, and release. All right, we're gonna stay out toward the front of the chair. We're gonna slide over to one side. I'm sliding over to the right, holding on with my left hand, and I'm lowering my right knee down toward the floor, and I'm lifting up as tall as I can and pushing back. So my push back is coming from down here and not just letting my shoulders drop back, because when I just let my shoulders drop back, I feel it in my low back. And I don't want to feel it in my low back. I want to feel it here. Right? So make sure if you're feeling this in your low back, sit up again and just continue with the stretch like this, lifting up as tall as you can. Good. And inhale back up. Let's bring that foot forward and scoot over to the other side. Make sure you're staying out toward the front of the chair. Hold on. Lower the other knee down toward the floor. Make sure that the leg that you're not stretching is straight out in front of the hip. Lift up as tall as you can and then see if you can push back a little. And breathe. Good, and inhale up tall, bring that leg forward. Let's go ahead and stand up. Reach your arms up overhead. Give yourself a nice, big, long stretch. Good. All right, feet together, a little bit close, and then flex over to one side. Right, if this bothers your shoulders, just bring your hands down. And up center, and let's do the same thing to the other side. Both feet are flat, both knees are straight. And back center, lower your arms down. Take 2 big shoulder rolls to the back, possibly even more if you would like. And we are all done. So great job, everyone. As always, thanks so much for coming today.